Because I know how to use it about later. I was like, I can't. So I'm going to time it. After that, I think I have this. You have it. You just push the button. Get a tiny little needle thingy or whatever, and you press the button, and then it pops out, and you grab the zipper and you use it. What are you drinking?
I see.
Just in case something comes to
Tea's supposed to be. You ever seen a tea emoji? It has like smoke coming out.
What's the matter?
What tea emoji? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Put away your phones, put away your headphones, take out your computers and get logged in so that we can get going and get as much time on the lab as we can.
Can I have a charging brick? No, I didn't.
They're up here. Come and grab one.
Get quick like that. Dude, I swear, purple, like, all the purple girls had like seconds before me. Like, no, you're
There's only two that she asked. You don't need one.
I'm actually shut up. I should get an A just for
Again, you don't have to. You could take the 0 on it. That's completely fine. All right. So today, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to determine an empirical formula experimentally. It's a formula that we could find based on the periodic table, but you're going to determine it experimentally as well today. So that is the plan. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we will show you how to do molecular formulas, which if you were working on the worksheets near the end of the packet, some of them talk about a molecular formula. Before you can ever do a molecular formula, you have to do the empirical formulas we were working on in class. So it'll tell you there were this many grams of carbon, this many grams of hydrogen, this many grams of oxygen. And then it will tell you the empirical formula has a mass of this. Or I'm sorry, the molecular formula has a mass of this. You don't need the part about the molecular formula to find the empirical. So if you're working on those problems and you want more practice on them, you can do the ones that still say to find the molecular formula, but stop after you find the empirical. And then tomorrow I will show you how to go that extra step. That will not be on your quiz tomorrow. 2 things on your quiz tomorrow. No, but since you suggested it, we will now. Okay? On your quiz tomorrow, you will have a molar conversion problem, one similar to last week's, but a multi-step one. So not going from particles to moles, moles to liters, moles to grams, but going from volume all the way to moles. Going from particles to volume, something like that, ladies and gentlemen. Multi-step problem. The second problem will be determining an empirical formula like we did yesterday. Those will be your 2 problems that you will have on your quiz tomorrow. Questions? Okay.
Do you have any other charging bricks? Because my computer just died.
You came up and you grabbed 2 from me. How many do you need? Then I don't know what to tell you because they work fine for everybody else.
Does anyone have a charger?
So, okay. So open up the lab that is in the Google Classroom, ladies and gentlemen. Determination of an empirical formula. The purpose is to experimentally determine the empirical formula of a compound containing zinc and chlorine. You should be able to tell me what the formula of is a compound containing zinc and chlorine. What is it? What is the formula of a compound containing zinc and chlorine?
ZnCl2.
ZnCl2. Now the question is, can you prove it today? Okay, we know what the formula should come out to be. Can you prove it? So, here's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to take and find the mass of an evaporating dish. The evaporating dish is the dish that is sitting on your hot plate, ladies and gentlemen. Take it to the balance that is at your station and find the mass of it. Do not zero the balance with this on it. Find the mass of this dish with the balance zeroed before you begin. You're going to record that, a little bit further down in this table. You're then going to take and place 1 to 2 grams of zinc in that dish. There is a small weighing boat just like this, ladies and gentlemen, at your station that has 1 to 2 grams of zinc already massed out in it for you, ladies and gentlemen. So you do need to make observations of that zinc. Those go here, ladies and gentlemen. You can touch the zinc. You can smell it. Don't taste it. Okay? And you can make observations based on what you see. So, in the container at your station, it is already there for you, ladies and gentlemen. So make your observations. Then you're going to take that, put it into your evaporating dish. You throw this away. And then you take this. You find the mass of the dish and the zinc now. Okay? The dish and the zinc. Okay? You now put the dish on the hot plate. Do not turn the hot plate on. Do not. No reason to yet. Okay? And now you are going to add you're going to add hydrochloric acid, 1 dropper full at a time slowly. Now, you do not want to touch this evaporating dish after you start adding acid. That is why it is sitting on your hot plate. You do not pick up, handle, or lift the acid from the table in any way. It is 12 molar. This is as concentrated as anyone can get. You get it on your skin, it will start burning through it and corroding it. You get it in your eyes, you will never see again out of that eye. So, I am not going to lift the container. I am going to take a dropper full and I'm going to put it into the dish that is on the hot plate. So I don't have to handle the the evaporating dish until the lab is completely done. Now, because my camera will not make it that far, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to do this here in front of you so you can see what happens when we add the acid to it. You will do it on here. Isaiah, where are you going to do it?
On there.
Good, because right now I think you're watching a game or something on your computer because you're staring at it more than me, and I don't think the lab is that interesting yet. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, when you start adding acid, the zinc metal will start reacting with the acid as soon as you add it. So a dropper full, that's what's going to happen. Now, you want to add enough acid until all of the zinc is gone. But if you add too much acid, you are going to have to get rid of the excess acid by boiling it off in the end. You do not want a lot of excess acid on there. That is starting to slow down, so I'm going to take another dropper full because I can still see quite a bit of silver in the bottom. So I'm going to take another dropper full, and I'm going to squirt it at it, and I literally want that zinc in the bottom to separate and then come back to the bottom. Why? The reaction will go faster that way. If you put it in drop, 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 and the zinc just sits there, not going to speed up your reaction. Okay? This is still not going to be enough. There is still quite a bit of zinc in the bottom of that container. Now again, where is this taking place?
Right there.
Where is this taking place in your lab?
On the hot plate.
On your hot plate. On your hot plate. You may have to add 3 or 4 droppers of acid to get all of the zinc to be gone.
Wait, so how do you want it to look?
How do I want it to look? I want it to look like there's no silver in the bottom.
So it's just clear liquid at that point?
It's going to look like clear liquid at that point. Yes. Okay? Now, when you get to the point where there is very little zinc left in the bottom, very little, you may still have to add a little more acid to get rid of it. If there's a little bit of acid, don't put a whole dropper full in there. You're not going to need a whole dropper full. Okay? And when there are just a few specks of zinc left, you can turn your hot plate on to hot. And you will be able to add the rest of the acid while it is on the hot plate. Do not turn the stirrer on. If you turn the stirrer on, absolutely nothing will happen. Because there is no stirring bar in here, and it will not heat anything. Okay? So again, if you look, you can still see in the center, there is a little bit of gray in the center here. That needs to go away. So again, I'm going to add another dropper full of acid. Okay? You should be making observations of this reaction while it is occurring. Things that you smell, things that you hear, things that you see. By the way, don't taste the hydrochloric acid. Don't taste it. Okay? And you still need to, by the way, make observations of the acid as well. So, observations of the acid, observations of the reaction. Okay? Now, I am starting to get to the point where I have very little zinc in the bottom, but there's still some. So again, this would be on your hot plate. I would add another dropper full. And when I get down to where there is just a little bit in there, I would turn on my heat to hot. Now what you are going to do is you are going to drive off the excess water that was created in this reaction and the other impurities that are in there. What you will be left with, ladies and gentlemen, is zinc chloride salt, a white solid that will be in there that we need to get out of the solution that it is in. So when you start heating it, you are trying to drive off all of the liquid so that you are left with this solid material. Okay? Now, please listen carefully. Most of the time while you are heating it, there's going to be nothing going on other than it's boiling. It is going to get to the point where you are almost done. Here is what you will see and here is what you will do. So please listen carefully. You will get a white crust on the top of the remnants that are in there. So as it's getting rid of the water and getting down, it's going to get thicker. It's going to get like a little bit syrupy. And then you're going to get this white crust across the top of the bottom of your bowl. There will still be some liquid underneath it. That liquid will still be boiling. What that means is your crust is literally going to move up and down as the liquid underneath it boils and goes off as a gas. When you see that start to happen, as soon as it goes up and goes down one last time and doesn't do it anymore, immediately shut off your hot plate, grab your tongs, grab the edge of your dish, and set it on the counter. If you keep heating it, you will take it too far. Take it off, set it on the counter, let it cool. We need it to be cold enough that you can pick it up in your bare hand, walk it to the balance, and put it on there before you will put it on the balance. If you put it on too hot, you will bend the electronics in there, and you will ruin a $1,000 balance. Don't do that, please. Okay? You can make observations of the salt solid that is left in there, the residue now, and then you take your final mass. Your final mass is the mass of the dish and the residue that is in there. Okay? And then, ladies and gentlemen, you wash your dish, You put it back. You leave everything there just the way it is. Your hot hands and your tongs, your acid you leave sitting there, and now you are done. Now you get to move on to the calculations and the questions that go with the lab. Okay? Now, at no point during this lab are you to leave your sample unattended at the lab station. Some of you may find it necessary to step out in the hall for a breath of fresh air. You are welcome to do that, but then your partner stays watching your sample. You come back in, your partner needs to step out, fine. But someone stays in watching your sample at all times. Questions? Perfect. 20 people. That's 10 groups of 2, ladies and gentlemen. Everything in the back is set up for you. Everything in the back is ready to go. Again, if you want a lab apron, you can grab one in the back. Your goggles are on from the time you go in back in the lab until the time you leave the lab. You step out in the hall for a breath of fresh air, you can take your goggles off. You come back in, you put them on. I cannot stress how important it is that you handle that acid with caution. None should spill because you're not picking it up. You're not lifting it. You're not sliding it across the table. There is a jar of acid literally right next to your hot plate. You take the dropper full of acid out, you squeeze it into the zinc metal. That is all you do. If you get some anywhere on the table, you call me over, I will clean it up. You do not. You use caution, you will have absolutely no problem with this lab whatsoever, other than you're probably going to leave here going, man, that lab stinks. So, questions?
Is this going to smell worse than the orange gas?
Worse than the what?
Than the mustard gas?
Oh, yeah, by far.
No.
Here we go. Let's go. Because it's chemistry. That's what we do in labs. Nasty labs. What?
I take all of them and then I just copy them.
Goggles are in the back if you left them for me.
And I'll help you. Me too.
50 cents.
I already counted it out, Mr. Brand.
I just love
I hope you're so happy with this.
I'm not. I don't want your money. What I want is for you to bring goggles and use them in class. Oh my God. Do I even... You sure about this?
Yeah. Count it out. It's 50 cents.
All right.
There's 2 quarters.
Oh, that's even better. Here's a
Okay,
pair of
what
goggles.
the heck?
Thank you.
Sorry, I just don't have quarters on me. I count a lot of pennies.
No, my problem is not that you don't have quarters on you. My problem is why don't you have goggles? Now, Sophia, you could probably go and get a pair out of the office too, because you are going to need them for other labs in here. And I know we didn't use them in conceptual, but you are going to use them in here.
Because I forgot.
So, Sophia, when you show me you bought a pair, I'll give you back your 50 cents. Yes, sir. If they are, I put them in there. That's why I told you to check. If not, here's the other box. We'll check in here right now. Okay, okay, I see what you're saying. I mean, Jacqueline, you can go ahead and look through that.
Mr. Brand, did we throw this plastic thing away like you said?
Yes. There you go, sir. Yep, after you've transferred it into the evaporating dish. Now, did you find the mass in the evaporating dish first?
Yeah.
Okay. Then yes, you can throw it away when you're done. Add the heat to it, addition the zinc. You need observation of the zinc, observation of the acid, do not touch the acid. You'll need observation of them when they're reacting. You do everything on them. You can't take it off. You add your acid to it, like it says, add the acid to it. Well, it's on there, so there's no chance of you spilling the acid. You can, if you want to smell the hydrochloric acid, waft it at your nose. Do not pick it up and hold it under your nose. Bend down and waft it. You can just observe if there is an odor for it. That is absolutely fine. That is the evaporating dish. That's the one that you can put onto the hot plate. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I said there's 1 to 2 grams. I already measured out in there for you. The salt you're talking about is going to be the stuff at the end. That's going to be the stuff at the very end. They are not going to be the same mass for dishes. They are not going to be the same mass for how much zinc is there.
That's after 3 droplets.
Okay, it's going to take a little while. Add 4. Add 4. You still got a ton of acid. Wait a minute.
It's so much faster.
Where did that? There you go. Now, you're right. It would dissolve much faster, but then you would have much more to boil off at the end, which would take longer at that point. So,
You can begin once you start adding acid. Add 2 droppers full of acid almost right away. It's going to take that much, if not more. For sure more. Remember to take observations of the reaction while it is happening.
You should get a fan.
I have a fan.
We'll turn it on.
It's going right up there.
It'll suck.
That's what they do. They suck the air out of the room and send it into another part of the building. They go on into the atmosphere. Well, there might be an odor by the hydrochloric acid. Yeah, that's absolutely 100% possible.
No, it's when like the actual smoke itself is like, yeah. It smells spicy. Yeah.
why do you only have 2 observations of the hydrochloric
Why does
acid?
it tell us?
That's stuff.
But I say it's full.
No, that is not an observation.
For what? Yeah.
Add more acid. Take another dropper.
Does have
You're holding that by cut up in the air and add 2 dropper full of acid to your tin. Well, you'll be taking it in a lot more in a little bit. What?
Yeah.
Well, you need a little more dog.
Mr. Brand, I put 4, but there's still zinc in there.
Then you add more.
You said don't put
Well, again, if there's still zinc in there, you haven't put too much in. Because it will all go away. If you're complaining now, it is going to get worse. Yes. Welcome to the smells of chemistry, ladies and gentlemen.
And then walk away. Oh, imagine that being thrown in your face.
When there is very little left, you can add a whole other dropper full because you still got a bunch. You can add a whole other dropper full because you still got a bunch. Okay.
You gotta get it on your hot plate, and you gotta start adding acid to it. 2 droppers flowing right away.
Oh!
Now you're starting to get down. You can have to add a little bit more. When you get down to about half the tank, you can turn it on.
Did you not see my reaction when I got like
And then probably more into that. So it's quite a bit in there. It's neat. Don't accidentally get some acid from it under here. Yes.
It is that bad.
When you get worse.
Proving to me that I'm not a scientist. But I feel like
It has no odor. You smelled it?
Oh, it has an odor. You saw my reaction. Smell it.
And you find a way to make some observations of things, but right now you don't have enough to give credit.
If I smell like this after this class,
Nope, not even close. Add another dropper full. Add some more.
you can't just keep putting it in there.
Mr. Brand, ours isn't even like smoking anymore.
Add a bunch of
I
things.
can see
Add
it,
more.
Mr. Brand. I can taste it.
Add 2 more droppers full of acid.
smell.
Now you got a little less. You're gonna have to add a little acid. Probably about a half a drop.
Baking.
Where it is.
Dude,
Turn on your hot plate to high.
It's terrible.
And if that doesn't go away, you need to add a
The
little
acid.
bit more.
The acid. Because they're putting the
Let
acid.
it make it go away.
That smells worse than straight acid. Smell it. Smell it.
I don't know what I
When
do.
you get to about half of that,
I want to see
you
what
can turn your heat.
Should I add more? Just not me?
Yeah, add some more. That'll make it go quicker. When you get to about a third of that, you can turn on your hot plate.
How's this, Mr. Brand?
How's this?
Actually,
Did you add more acid?
yeah, I don't know what dropper full, but it doesn't even like smoke anymore. It's just.
Okay. Add some more. You're supposed to be able to turn it on. It's gotta be all gone. It has to be all gone. But it's not, because you can still see it. So there is all gone and there is not all gone. There is no basically. Add more acid. At least another dropper full, probably 2 or 3. Add more acid, a whole other dropper full, probably about 2 or 3 before you got it done. Add another dropper full. Add another dropper full. When you get to about
I'm spraying myself with perfume.
It's not working.
Yeah, when you get to about a third of that, after you add your next dropper full, you can turn your heat on. Let's see. Let me see. Add another dropper full when you get to about. You'll probably still have to add more even after you turn your heat on.
This? I don't know what
Your
rat
heat is on good, you don't need to add any more acid. Alright, now all you gotta do is get rid of all that water.
I'm going as fast as I can, Mr. Brand.
It's gone.
See, except for that little bit in the bottom, yes, but now you can turn on your heat. And you can add more acid, yes.
How high should I turn it to?
And then a little bit more acid.
We had to add a
Add
water.
more acid. Turn it all the way to high. You're gonna turn it on all the way to high. And you're gonna turn it all the way to high. Yeah, you got a whole lot to go. You gotta get rid of all that stuff. So let's go.
There's literally 3
You
pieces.
can't start heating it
And
until
you
you
can
get
see
rid of all
that
that
it is
stuff.
all 3.
Don't breathe through your
Oh,
mouth.
right, you weren't even starting feeling it.
I gotta have another slope. So it's all the way to high.
Thanks.
I know, you partner those?
Yeah, I told her. She said it's all the way.
Yeah, more, you can turn on your heat. Turn on your heat so that a little bit more.
How's that new bubbler flavor? Good? Yeah. I heard mixed things of it.
Okay, good. When you guys get to about a third of that, then you can turn on your heat and add a whole other drop of gas. Well, yeah, you're trying to get rid of the. Well, there must be something. No, you'll just start powering like that.
No idea.
I'll take care of it.
Haven't heard of anything. We're gonna have like the end of the year stuff.
Is it all gone now?
Yeah.
Your heat's on high. Okay, you won't be needing the acid anymore.
What do I do with it?
Just leave it there. Just be careful. Push it to the middle of the table at a spot. Just make sure you don't push it and sit down. Yep. Well, you're gonna have to wait and see. If it doesn't, that little bit of our color there doesn't go away, you might have to add a little bit more, otherwise no. More acid.
Yeah, it's like the same color. It's like the color at the end of it
More
too.
acid. I understand it, but you still have silver in the bottom. Until you get rid of all that silver in the bottom, you can't do anything. Right, but you still have to add enough so that you get rid of all of that zinc. Because otherwise you're not making zinc chloride. Oh my God. Are you guys eating yet? Now you can start eating. Okay, go ahead. You can add a little bit more acid.
The air's contaminated.
I don't like that sound.
You go to that.
You said like
And it's a seed. Turn all the way to that.
Do you have like?
Wow, I can't even breathe.
I think
There you go. Are you guys eating? Just a little bit more acid. Maybe just a touch more acid.
Mr. Brown.
Yes. What? I can't understand you and I can't hear you. You're gonna cover it. What?
It looks like we can start a little bit at the bottom. Like,
No, you're good. Now.
no. We're waiting. It's so dramatic.
it just went. Pause. So what happened with the.
Now, if, ladies and gentlemen, while you're heating it, stuff starts popping out all over the place onto your hot plate, you may have to turn it down a hair. But you need to keep it boiling to get rid of all the water in there.
I know.
It will be.
Ellen smells back.
All the silver gone.
Oh, it's starting to
Okay.
bubble.
Squirt another drop of acid in there. Just squirt another drop of acid in there. Come on, let's go. Now, we're gonna go down to 5. If
Oh my God.
that comes back, you may have to add a little more acid. Turn your heat on after you add some more acid. Good. Heat on the high.
And away we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait for here.
Away we go with the smelly part of the lab.
Wait,
This is about to be the smelly part. What? You try to dry it out.
We just let it sit down.
You let it boil until it dries out. Then you're watching for that crust.
And then what do we do once it's going like this?
It's going like what? You wait for it to go, and then you take it off.
Take off the dish?
Yes.
No, stop.
Oh, it explodes. It's over here.
Put it in the box. I'll take the shelter now. Put it in the box. I understand.
Shows are
Put it in the box.
Smells like some s'mores.
I don't mind you stepping out in the hall to catch your breath. But
it shows are
It doesn't fit, Mr. Brown. It doesn't fit.
It's okay, I should
Is there anyone who has not got their heat on? We have 35 minutes to get things boiled, cooled, and collected. By the way, you could start on the calculations about the zinc, because you know how many grams of zinc you use.
Oh my god.
Because it'll clean out your sinuses if they haven't been cleaned out in a while.
There's a sore right here, Alexa.
oh my!
I can't.
Oh, wow.
I can't read that.
First of all, if you're talking, you're breathing because you're taking air in and out of your body.
It's burning my nose hairs.
You got your stuff really start talking out.
Mr. Brown, why do you do this?
Because it's a good laugh.
Do you enjoy the portrait show?
Okay, how long are you going to be in here for? Okay, I'm in here for 2 hours. Doing this left. Suck it up, Hunter.
Oh my gosh.
All right, there you go.
Okay, now I can
There
feel
you
it.
go.
Gosh, this smell it now.
I know this. I got to better than
And then this is purely torture, not
If you die, I will give you an answer.
I agree.
My nose is so red.
Running away again.
I did smell it.
Okay, now okay, is this the dry stuff when it's all melted? Oh my god. What's the dry salt part?
When it's all the water is gone at the end.
I need.
Plus. Oh my God! You know, you. Oh my God! Go down quickly to the end. Yes. No. Take out my formula. Plug in the filter. You can go into the filter. You can pick up the and so this is this. So here where it says acetate, the number that you get here, so all set up for you. You just have to finish. The bolts. For a second. Over here. You watch over there, it stops moving. That stops moving. Turn it off. Ready? Stop moving. Or your tongue's the other way. By the way, if you want to see what it looks like when you're done, Diana and Cynthia, sample is triangle. It happens quick. Stop. Yes. Literally, totally covered up. Yes. Literally underneath. And then it stops. Yes, they are. Yeah. Now it's covered up. As soon as that stops flowing, it stops flowing. Oh, you told me to leave it on there. As soon as that stops moving, you have to take it off.
Oh, yeah, we got to.
As soon as that stops moving, as soon as that stops moving, you take it off. As soon as it stops moving, you take it off. Is it moving? Get on, set it on the ground. There you go. Good job. Make sure you turn your hot plates off when you are done. Well, it's cold enough that you can put it in your palm of your hand. I know. No, why? If you poke it, you're liable to lose some of the. Oh, we're trying to collect. Well, I don't know how you could put your thing on when we're talking about describing dry salt after. What it looks like now. I'll take it back. Oh, you went back. Now, in your calculation, You don't have to do that. You're not showing me the book. You can go in and you can change. No, you're not sure. Well, okay, yes. Well, you are. If you're done and you clean up your sample, drink. Yep. All that is zinc chloride sulfate. Ah! Oh,
I don't care.
why do you get on that? What is your problem?
How was it dusty?
No. Right? After you get your final mass, you will launch your evaporating dish out. You will leave it sitting in front of your hot plate, not on your hot plate. And you off the counter unless you have holes in the butt of your jeans or whatever thing you're wearing. If you're holding oh, you get it's not back here. Oh, you don't see it. Okay, oh, wait, watch. As soon as that stuff's moving up and down, you can pick it up. Now, take it off. Line it. Set it on the side. Don't pull down. Take it off your hot plate. Yes. Wash it in the sink, dry it, leave it sitting in front of your hot plate and you are done. Sorry, I should say that. Well, the moles of chlorine and no, that's the formula mass of chlorine. Your lab, what was the mass of chlorine? Well, you should have done that in earlier calculation. That was the calculation, except for the mass of the chlorine. I did.
want your charger back?
No, it's not mine.
I was not talking to you.
I'm sorry, you were talking near me, so I assumed you were talking to me.
Harmony and motion. Come on back into the room. What? Yeah.
Aww.
Wait, did he say you can't do it right there?
What? Yeah, it won't kill you. Come on, it's airing out in
Why
here
do you
now.
hate us?
Which list would you like? The long one or the short one? Yeah, you definitely can take your goggles off now that you're out of the lab. So in here, you can go into these formulas and replace where it says mass of dish and zinc with your numbers, and then that way you're showing me an example of the calculation. Well, you have to show me an example of the calculation. You can do it underneath if you want. I don't care. Remember, when you do a calculation, you need to show me an example with your numbers in there. I get it.
I'm gonna do the.
How do we get from
Why the fuck do you hate me? What's dirt? Dirty is it did look dirty. And then I don't need you.
Oh, where do we get
No, I got it again. I wish I had my right calculator. I love my right calculator. I told you that before. I love my right.
No, I don't. Other than the Okay, ladies and gentlemen, when I typed in your formulas for the moles of zinc, I forgot to put in the mass of zinc times the conversion factor. So to find the moles of zinc, you take the mass of zinc from the problem above, and then use a conversion factor with formula mass and 1 mole, just like we've been doing on the problems yesterday. Get your moles of zinc that you use. Was it something I said?
What? What's funny? What is funny?
Sophia, I'll take them. Thank you.
You know, my dad was like, I should be the director next year. I was like, hell no, you will not be the director. And he was like, I should, and I'd make the theme trolls. And your closing theme would be, you know, we were better. He said, that would be a closing number because that's my song. And I said, you're actually insane. And he was like, but we would need a good singer. And then he was like, you know, I choose Phoebe to lead the pack. I choose Phoebe to lead the pack. And I said, what? And not even me? And then he was like, no. And he was like, I teach her how to sing. I'd say, Phoebe, just practice it. Hey, Rhapsody. You're not right. There's no way. One moment.
No, but what I should have done is.
Yeah, that's
the mass.
I just didn't type it in that. I guess you're supposed to type it down and that's double me, but whatever.
I'm not the top player. I'm
Like, I'm not going
about it. One of my friends was playing in the car. And I was like,
Based off of the mass, that's so
I know the
really. So the question above. Correct. Correct.
was it just like,
Okay, please listen so you get this correct, ladies and gentlemen. I have got the formulas in here for you. Again, the two formulas for finding the moles are missing the part where it should say mass of zinc, and the one for moles of chlorine should say mass of chlorine in here. You can, if you want, click on my formulas that are in here and replace the words with your numbers from the lab. So you can click on where it says mass of zinc here, and you can replace that with the number for the mass of zinc that you got from the formula above it. But then do not leave this as 1 mole or formula mass and 1 mole or formula mass. That is what you put in here. Do you put 1 mole on the top or formula mass? Do you put 1 mole on the bottom or formula mass? Plug in the numbers and then solve it. But if you do not plug in the numbers in here, if you want to type it in down below, that's fine. But if you just type in an answer, you're not getting credit for your calculation. You have to show me how you got your answer. Okay? Please make sure that if you're leaving me your goggles, you put them in the box before you leave. And then, ladies and gentlemen, there are 3 questions that you will answer. Those are after all of the calculations. So again, calculation number 5, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to put in the words mass of chlorine. So please add that to this calculation. You're finding moles. It is equal to the mass of chlorine times either 1 mole or the formula mass on top, 1 mole or the formula mass on the bottom. If you were doing the problems yesterday, that should not be a problem for you to figure out which goes where. And the empirical formula is found by taking the moles of zinc and the moles of chlorine and dividing them by whichever one is the smaller amount. Please remember, this should be a whole number ratio. And actually, what do we know the ratio should be? 1 to 2. So we'll see if you get the right ratio. And then you need to answer these 3 questions, ladies and gentlemen.
okay.
Explain how the mole concept relates to chemical formulas. We talked about that yesterday. We said that a chemical formula is actually a certain kind of ratio. Number 2, explain why the mole is used in determining molecular empirical formulas instead of the masses of each element. Yes, we begin with masses, but then we convert it into moles. Why do we do it in moles and not a ratio of masses? And finally, explain how the mole concept can be used to allow for better understanding of a chemical reaction. So, this all needs to be done by the end of the day tomorrow. Now, some of you are still missing the mole versus mass lab that we did first. You're not going to get very far in here if you won't do the labs. Because now you're saying, okay, I'm going to ace every one of your tests, Mr. Brand. Some people may, some people may not. Okay? Aiden, did you have those goggles? Or no, who else did I rent goggles to? Where are they at? Okay, thank you.
Where they at? Where they at? Oh, yes.
Wait.
Are you going to the cast party?
Yeah. So I'm hoping that I like announce every time.
This is too much.
Arhan! Your table needs to be cleaned up where you were doing your calculations, please. Grab a wet towel or a wet rag from over there and clean up your calculations, please. No, do not use the sponge. Use either one of those towels or use a paper towel.
Here we go. That makes a lot more sense.
You're going to need to wet it, sir.
So, Mr. Rick, can you read this?
Can I read that?
Yeah. Maybe we should just
Yes, the typing is very nicely done.
Can you check it out?
Okay, what are you gonna do if I tell you it's wrong? And what are you gonna do if I tell you it's right?
You would think you would.
And why would I ask the question if I didn't want you to find out what your answer is?
Do you remember when we were all sitting by Wilson during the dance camp and he just came and sat by?
As it is a specific.
Hey, why? Hey, wow.
I didn't know if you were going
She
to
wants to make
emphasis.
sure that like emphasis. Like,
No, that's-
hey, I don't really think you're doing what I do right now, but.
What is that?
Versus a specific amount
Is
specified for a certain.
that what I put?
Yes.
Wait.
Read the rest of it.
Explain how the whole concept looks like.
Oh, wait, no. I don't think so.
I don't think cereal is like.
I did not. This is the first time.
I
There.
did.
For years I don't have
Okay, why do we use the most?
That's why the part of the we haven't had
Remember when we showed you the other day how a compound
It is really
a certain amount of this is a certain amount of this. So for water, 10 grams of milk, 16 grams of oxygen.
No, but
What's the formula?
It's not going to use those pieces.
Now, blood oxygen. For us to be able
amount of
to.
mass.
Oh.
The amount of particles. And
No, we don't see part.
but then I have
How do we make that up into something?
Slap on it.
Okay, say the word slower now. Okay, so the formula is a ratio of what?
You know, he actually.
So,
He gave us a
your
credit, like,
formula H2O
are you
shows you how
ready?
many hydrogens.
Really?
Yeah, the topic.
Do the math. Not
He might give you a credit. I don't know.
16 is
But I would do
only
Which one's better? Why is it?
Yeah.
So they were just working on it.
which one is
Especially when it's plugged into.
Are you guys doing like the thing where it's
And you're like,
So for number 2, it's like something you want to be remembered by.
damn.
Right, remembered by
I'm joking about
or for?
Oh yeah.
Something you want to be remembered for?
Yeah.
I have mine already in mind. I'm not gonna die. I want to be remembered for that. I'm gonna live forever.
Mr. Brand, I don't. You're a science teacher. You know that that's not possible.
Why is it not possible?
Because
Isn't there someone who is the first to do everything?
Well, yeah.
Couldn't I be the first to live forever?
Well,
then
yeah.
how would people know? They would just assume that that's how it is. Like, because those people are gonna die.
Good question. How would they know if I lived forever? Well, I'll just keep living.
I don't think they're gonna do it. I hate.
You're saying I'm gonna die?
Yes.
That's bad, wishing death upon somebody.
I'm not wishing it.
Yes, you are. I'm saying I want to live forever. You're like, no, you're gonna die.
No, I'm just telling you.
No, you're gonna die.
I'm telling you that you can't live forever.
Why can't I?
Because it's not possible.
Why not?
You should know better than me. You're a science teacher.
I am a science teacher. I want to know why it's not possible someone can't live forever. What physically requires you to die?
I don't know. Old? I'm thinking old. I don't know.
I'm gonna be different. I'm not gonna die.
Okay, good. I'm not either. I'm gonna try not to die.
Mr. Brand, if you wear green tomorrow, you get $1 off Celsius and Bubblers.
Huh?
Just wear green tomorrow.
Why?
So you can get a Celsius.
Why would I want a Celsius or a bubbler? Have a good day. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Calculator's back, please, before you leave. Hopefully the smell goes away, ladies and gentlemen. Alexis! Do you want your headphones and things that you left under your desk? Or do you want me to just
Where did I put my phone? I have to find it.
because I could add it to my collection of crap that I have up here that nobody's ever claimed.
Really?
Thank you. Good. Take your purse. Take your headphones now. Get out.
Thanks.
Goodbye, Alexis.
Bye, Mr. Brand.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.